Hey, I'm Anna from Audiologic, and welcome to Tech Tuesdays. This week, we're talking about some of the options available for assistive listening. When building a functional audio system, it's important to remember that there are people who may require additional assistance in order to have the same experience as everyone else. The goal here is to get users closer to the sound source to improve clarity and reduce the signal-to-noise ratio. The approach we take when designing these systems varies from project to project, and there are a lot of options available to suit each one. So let's dive right in. The most common option for hearing assistance is the induction loop. You've probably seen signs for these everywhere, from reception desks and bank tellers to theaters and performance venues. So what is an induction loop? Well, they're made of three primary components: an amplifier, a magnetic field formed by a loop, and a hearing aid that is fitted with a telecoil switch. These are extremely common systems because they're very hands-off. Once the installation is commissioned, the loop is hidden and it just works. There's a lot to think about when designing an induction loop: the size of the room, how much spill we can afford into adjacent spaces, and how much metal there is in the building structure. These factors can really affect the performance of the loop, so this information is key when putting together an induction loop design. One of the leading manufacturers of induction loops and accessories, Ampetronic, estimate that up to 95% of their surveyed loops are non-compliant with standards, so it's important to remember the users who rely on these systems when putting together a design. There are a few reasons loops may not be suitable. Sometimes we can't get access to the ceiling or tear up carpets to lay cable, and sometimes privacy is an issue. And sometimes you want to cater to users that don't have CIs or hearing aids, so don't worry, there are other options. Infrared is another great approach for assistive listening. A key brand to look at here is Williams Sound. Your basic components are a modulator, which modulates the audio to a set frequency, a radiator, which emits the infrared, and then a receiver. And sometimes brand will combine the modulator and radiator into a single piece of hardware. Receivers either have headphones or a neck loop connected, so you can use these with a T-coil or without. Because we're using infrared, line of sight is critical for reception. This also has the added benefit of limited spill, since IR doesn't travel through walls or glass. Infrared is a great option for more difficult installations, but also because anyone can use the receivers. It's important to know that not all people who are deaf and hard of hearing wear hearing aids. A third option here is audio over Wi-Fi. Some products to look at here are the Sennheiser Mobile Connect and the Williams AV Wavecast in IR+. These rack-mounted devices work with the network infrastructure on site, so it can be pretty straightforward to install when all of the network requirements are met. You could provide an entire campus worth of assistive listening from a single rack room. A benefit of these systems is that anyone can easily use them. The receiver is your own smartphone device and headphones. It can even work with CIs and hearing aids. That said, for users without smartphones, it could be problematic. These systems are also great for rooms requiring translation, as you can have dozens of channels running concurrently. Sometimes it's not always possible to install one of these systems, but there are still ways to optimize rooms. Something as simple as acoustic panels can reduce reflections, which can really affect the experience for people with cochlear implants or hearing aids. You can check out our previous video on improving room acoustics for more information there. There are many approaches to assistive listening, and there's no one-size-fits-all option. The important thing to remember is optimizing your space for your listeners, which option provides the best experience for your project. If you have any questions on assistive listening or anything else, let us know. We're always happy to help.